The docks. The industrial heartbeat of Los Santos is completely rigged from the inside out. Comprised of Elysian Island and the JetSam terminal, it's a massive, confusing, claustrophobic maze of rusted shipping containers, towering cargo cranes, and gray, dirty water. It is the exact place where Simeon Yetarian runs his shady, high-stakes export garage, and where Trevor boldly pulls off his famous mini-sub heist. But it's not just innocent blue-collar workers moving legitimate cargo down here in the smog. Merryweather Security has completely and illegally seized control of Elysian Island, essentially operating it as a highly classified shadow military base hiding in plain sight. If you so much as step a single foot inside their massive central warehouse or cross the wrong invisible perimeter, the game's AI instantly hits you with a lethal 4-star wanted level and drops endless waves of heavily armed private mercenaries on your head. You don't go to the docks to explore the scenery. You go there to start a full-blown war. Los Santos International Airport. LSIA is arguably the most iconic, endlessly action-packed playground in the entire state of San Andreas. It is a massive, wide-open sandbox, perfect for high-speed drag racing your friends down the runway, hitting massive, physics-defying stunt jumps over the terminal signs, and exploring completely hidden Easter egg rooms tucked away in the baggage claims. Ever since the game-changing Smuggler's Run update, it evolved from a simple civilian transit hub into a massive, tactical military base where players can purchase personal hangars and heavily customize their weaponized aircraft. From chaotic, hostile takeover FIP missions to boldly stealing massive jumbo jets right off the active runway while dodging police cruisers, LSIA isn't just a commercial airport anymore. It's a multi-million-dollar, endlessly exploding war zone. La Puerta. It literally translates to the door or the gate in Spanish, which perfectly describes this massive, foreboding transition zone. It is a gritty, sun-baked concrete maze of intertwined highways, the iconic storm-drained sewer canals famously used for high-speed getaways, and the sprawling Maze Bank Arena. On the surface, it feels like an ugly, boring stretch of road you only ever drive through at top speed to get somewhere else. But the decaying, abandoned buildings scattered around aren't just empty set dressing designed to look cool. Rockstar specifically designated these crumbling warehouses as active, hostile gang hideouts for the ruthless Armenian mob. What looks like a forgotten, rusting industrial wasteland is actually a heavily armed stronghold, serving as the dark, violent backbone to Simeon's legitimate car dealership. It gives a dark, highly illegal purpose to an otherwise dead zone. La Puerta isn't a destination, it's a heavily armed speed bump. South Los Santos. This is the absolute chaotic epicenter of street-level gang warfare. Comprised of the tightly packed neighborhoods of Strawberry, Chamberlain Hills, Davis, Rancho, and Banning, this poverty-ridden, hyper-dense zone is ground zero for the city's worst, most unpredictable violence. The Ballas, the Families, the Vagos, and the Aztecas are locked in a relentless, violently overlapping turf war that makes the streets feel dangerously, constantly alive. A single, wrongly aimed punch can instantly trigger a massive, block-wide shootout. Jam-packed with iconic, highly functional locations like Benny's Motorworks, local barbershops, and discount shoe stores, this is the original, gritty stomping ground of Franklin, Lamar, Chop, Stretch, and Gerald. South Los Santos isn't just a generic district you drive through, it's the explosive, beating heart of the game's criminal underworld, where respect is earned entirely with bullets. East Los Santos. Comprised of Cypress Flats, Murrieta Heights, and El Burro Heights, this forgotten corner of the map is a sprawling industrial wasteland of low-end housing, rusted oil derricks, and grimy warehouses. It features highly specific, fan-favorite locations like Lester's cluttered house, the endlessly pumping local oil fields and ammunition, the massive underground LS car meet, and the undeniably creepy Raven Slaughterhouse. But underneath all the industrial grime and smog, the streets are heavily controlled by the terrifying Marabunta Grande gang, alongside other small, fiercely territorial Hispanic factions. Despite all this incredibly rich atmosphere and potential for gang warfare, it feels like a completely neglected, forgotten corner of the map that Rockstar largely ignored during years of massive GTA Online updates. There are no high-end apartments or luxury businesses here. It is the gritty place where the city actively dumps its toxic industrial waste and its most ruthless, desperate street soldiers. La Mesa and Mirror Park. Located just north of East Los Santos, La Mesa shares the exact same industrial, economically deprived vibe, but it hides a massive, multi-million-dollar criminal secret. Hidden safely behind the boring, unsuspicious facade of Lester's rundown undergarment factory is the actual high-tech planning hub for the game's most massive, city-shattering heists. Right next door, serving as a jarring contrast, is Mirror Park, a newly gentrified neighborhood completely overrun by upper-middle-class, organically fed, cringy millennial hipsters. Thanks to this sudden influx of hipster wealth and overpriced coffee shops, La Mesa is slowly recovering economically, boasting far less visible gang activity and its own heavily trafficked Los Santos customs. It brilliantly proves that in Los Santos, the silent, creeping wave of gentrification is just as powerful and arguably just as ruthless as any street-level gang warfare. Downtown Los Santos. The towering, intimidating center of the city includes Pillbox Hill, Legion Square, Textile City, and Mission Row. It boasts absolutely incredible, hyper-detailed skyscraper architecture that completely dominates the skyline from miles away. There is plenty of cinematic chaos to be found here, from Lester's high-stakes corporate espionage missions infiltrating Life Invader, to Barry's hilarious drug-induced side missions where you actively fight off waves of minigun-wielding aliens and killer clowns right in the park. But despite the massive, awe-inspiring scale of the glass and steel buildings, the actual street-level vibe can feel surprisingly barren and empty. It is a literal concrete jungle where the buildings are massive, but the actual street-level chaos is completely overshadowed by the untouchable corporate towers above. You spend all your time craning your neck to look up, realizing the real crimes are happening in the penthouses, not on the pavement. Little Seoul. Named after the sprawling capital of South Korea, Little Seoul is a dense, highly diverse, and incredibly bustling district right in the literal middle of the city. While it offers incredible, culturally distinct architecture, bustling civilian life, and the famously satirical Taco Bomb restaurant, the neon-lit streets are actually locked in a terrifying, silent turf war. It is the primary, heavily contested stopping ground for both the local Korean gang and the heavily armed Los Santos triads operating out of the shadows of Ginger Street. You might come for the vibrant sights, the unique pedestrians, and the fast food, but you are constantly standing right in the dangerous crossfire of massive, international crime syndicates just waiting for an excuse to pull the trigger. Vespucci, the ultimate sun-soaked representation of absolutely everything GTA 5 has to offer. Vespucci is completely jam-packed with iconic, heavily visited locations, featuring the famous Muscle Sands Beach Gym, the incredibly vital Vespucci Movie Mask Store, multiple bustling millionaire marinas, Binko clothing, and key story locations like Floyd's hopelessly messy safe house. But the absolute masterstroke of the entire district's level design is the sprawling, intricate network of the Vespucci canals. Those beautiful waterways aren't just there to look pretty for the wealthy residents. They are a hard-coded tactical advantage. They serve as highly practical, winding escape routes specifically designed to confuse and easily lose the aggressive LSPD driving AI. It perfectly proves that in the chaotic world of Los Santos, a gorgeous, million-dollar view happily doubles as the ultimate getaway route. Del Perro. This beautiful, sun-drenched district is the ultimate coastal escape from the smog of the city. Del Perro is famous for the Pleasure Pier, a flawless, highly detailed recreation of the real-world Santa Monica Pier, complete with a massive, rideable Ferris wheel and a functional roller coaster. It features sprawling, golden beaches, a massive beachfront movie theater, a conveniently placed ammunition, and the high-end office of Michael's highly manipulative, overpriced therapist. It is visually stunning, especially at sunset, and packed with replayable, immersive activities. Del Perro offers the ultimate sunny, carefree distraction from the relentless murder, bank heists, and gang mayhem happening just a few blocks away in the concrete jungle. Rockford Hills. This is exactly where the elite hide their dirty money and their darkest secrets. Rockford Hills is a massively wealthy, immaculately manicured residential zone, packed with huge Spanish-style gated mansions, the exclusive Richmond Country Club, and the sprawling greens of the GWC Golfing Society. It serves as the luxurious, miserable home of Michael DeSanta and features high-end, pretentious shopping at Ponsonby's, where you can buy heavily overpriced designer clothes just to briefly fit in with the snobs. But while it is the glamorous center stage for massive, explosive story mode missions, the district becomes an eerie, complete ghost town in GTA Online. Without the cinematic storyline holding it together, players realize there is no real grit or profitable chaos to be found on these perfectly paved streets. It is a gorgeous, pristine neighborhood entirely built on backstabbing, fake smiles, and endless blood money. Vinewood. Serving as a perfect, biting parody of real-life Hollywood, Vinewood is undeniably the most lavish, aesthetically pleasing entertainment district in Los Santos. It features the iconic, star-studded Walk of Fame, wandering street performers in cheap costumes, gullible tourist groups snapping photos, a bustling high-stakes casino, and massive high-end movie theaters. But despite being the luxurious new home of Franklin Clinton and various in-game, highly paid celebrities, the entire district is plagued by an inescapable, depressing sense of emptiness. It is completely infested with shallow, incredibly annoying, fame-obsessed people, making Vinewood a beautiful, multi-million-dollar illusion. It looks absolutely perfect on a postcard, but the second you actually walk the streets and listen to the ambient NPC dialogue, you realize absolutely everything here is entirely fake.